All right, let's dive right in. Today we're talking about CSS Grid, and not just the basics. We're getting into the really powerful stuff that pros use to build amazing web layouts. If you're ready to stop fighting with your code and start building with confidence, you are in the exact right place.
You know the feeling, right? You're hacking away with floats, trying to get divs to line up, wrestling with weird positioning bugs, and calculating percentages, hoping everything doesn't just explode on a different screen size. It can be a real headache. But what if there was a way to just skip all that nonsense?
Well, that's the plan. We're going to get straight to the good stuff, the features that will completely change how you think about building layouts. In just the next few minutes, you'll see how to make even complex designs feel simple and, believe it or not, intuitive.
Okay, first things first, the basic blueprint. You have to think like an architect here. Before you can put up walls or windows, you need to draw the blueprint. With CSS Grid, we define that core structure from the very beginning.
The easiest way to think about it is like a simple table. You've got columns running up and down, and rows running side to side. And grid template columns sets up those vertical tracks, and you guessed it, grid template rows sets up the horizontal ones. It really is that straightforward.
And check this out. Just look at how little code we need to build a classic website layout. We're telling it we want two columns. One is a fixed 250 pixels for, say, a sidebar. The other one, it just takes up the rest of the available space. That's what that 1FR is doing, and we'll talk more about that in a second. Then we define 3 rows, a header, a main content area that just grows as needed, and a footer. Boom! A whole page structure in just 2 lines of CSS.
Which brings us to our next section, flexible sizing with the FR unit. Honestly, this is the secret sauce. This little unit is what makes Grid so incredibly powerful for responsive design because it frees you from being locked into rigid pixel values.
So what even is an FR? Well, it's short for fractional unit. All it means is 1 fraction of the available space. It lets the browser do all the heavy lifting and the complicated math for you.
This example makes it super clear. If you set up 3 columns as 1FR, 2FR, 1FR, you're basically telling the browser, hey, see all this empty space? I want you to divide it into 4 equal parts. The first column gets 1 of those parts, the third column gets 1, and the middle column gets 2 parts. So it's always going to be twice as wide as the others. It's all proportional and perfectly flexible. And that's why this is such a game changer. Using FR units means your layouts are responsive right out of the box. You're not hard-coding pixels, the whole thing is flexible, it's adaptive, and it is so much cleaner than messing around with weird percentages and calc functions.
All right, let's get even smarter. Let's talk about autofill versus autofit. So imagine you're building a gallery of photos or products. You want as many items as can fit on one line, and you want them to automatically adjust when the screen size changes, all without writing a single media query. This is where autofill and autofit come in. Now, this syntax might look a little crazy at first, but stick with me. We're telling the browser to repeat a column over and over. The min-max part says each column needs to be at least 200 pixels wide, but it can grow to fill any extra space. And the real magic is in that one keyword, autofill or autofit. And here is the subtle but absolutely crucial difference. With autofill, the browser creates as many column tracks as it possibly can, even if there's nothing to put in them. You can see that empty space it leaves behind. But autofit is smarter. It also creates the columns, but then it collapses the empty ones and stretches the items you do have to fill up all that leftover space. For things like photo galleries or cart layouts, autofit is almost always what you're going to want. Okay, now for my absolute favorite feature in all of CSS Grid. This is the thing that makes your code incredibly clean and easy to understand. We're going to stop thinking about column and row numbers, and we're going to start giving our layout areas actual names.
Just look at this. It's like you're drawing a picture of your website with text. Using grid template areas, you can literally map out your layout. Here we're saying the header area should stretch across 2 columns. Then the sidebar and main areas sit next to each other. And finally, the footer spans across the bottom. It's a visual map of your page, living right inside your CSS.
And connecting an element to your map, it couldn't be easier. You just grab your HTML element, like your main tag, and you tell it, hey, your grid area is main. And that's it. Your content just snaps right into place. It's so readable, so intuitive. It's amazing. All right, let's bring it all home. We've gone through some seriously powerful stuff, from the FR unit to the magic of autofit and named areas. Now, let's put it all together and go over the key takeaways. So here's a question I hear all the time.
when should I use Grid and when should I use Flexbox? And the answer is simple. You use both. Think of Grid as your tool for the big two-dimensional page structure, anything that has both rows and columns. And think of Flexbox as your precision tool for one-dimensional alignment, like perfectly centering items inside a header. They're not enemies, they're best friends.
So let's do one final rapid recap. We defined our structure with grid template columns and rows. We made it responsive with the FR unit. We created dynamic, no media query needed galleries with auto-fit. And we made our code self-documenting with grid template areas. These are the core tools you need to build like a modern pro.
We've just given you the keys to a much smarter, more powerful way to build for the web. You now have the blueprint for creating layouts that are clean, robust, and beautiful. So the only question